Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nika's Journey to Financial Freedom. In this episode, I would like to give you guys the 10 steps that you need to do if you want to take your side hustle to legitimacy of a real, actual business. And in order to do that, there's certain things that you must do, okay? So if you want to be able to take your side hustle and make it a legitimate business so that you can be able to take advantage of the plethora of government grants out there, as well as low interest rate loans through the government and financial institutions, business lines of credit, then you're going to want to tune into this episode because I am dropping some nuggets, okay? I'm dropping some nuggets for you guys in this episode. As many of you guys know, I am a commercial loan officer with the United States government, so I got the inside scoop. The girl's going to be hooking you up, okay? Hooking you up. But you got to do these 10 steps, all right? So stay tuned.
Be strong.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, what are these 10 steps? They're not difficult at all. And maybe, hopefully, you've already done some of them. But they're pretty simple. They're not too difficult. It's just a matter of doing them in order and then following through. That's all there is to it. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you what those 10 steps are, starting with step number 1. Okay, step number 1, you need to get incorporated. Now, of course, some of you guys have probably looked around, asked around, maybe talked to a few people, and people have said that you got to go through an attorney, that it costs a lot of money. When I incorporated my first business years ago, my ex-partner and we actually went through the one of the state universities in California, and I want to say we paid them around $500, but we incorporated into a C corp, and we wanted to be able to issue shares. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do that. But for all intents and purposes, this is for the individuals who just wants to incorporate into an LLC, something that's very basic, very simple, and you can be an LLC even if it's just you, okay? So that's a myth that a lot of people think, oh, I can't be an LLC. I can't, incorporate into an LLC, a limited liability corporation. That's what the LLC stands for, because it's just me. Well, that's fine. It can just be you. You don't have to have other people involved, okay, to incorporate into an LLC. All right. So what you want to do is you want to go online and go to this business called Zen Business. It's Zen, just like it sounds, like Zen. Yes, that's how it's spelled. Okay. You want to go on their website. It will take you maybe 2 minutes, if that, to fill out the little bit of information they asked for. And that's pretty much it. They do charge a small fee of, I think it was about $50 or about $49 is what it was. $49, and then whatever your state charges, okay? Which there's nothing they can do about that. That is what it is. In the state that I'm in, it was only $105. So altogether, it was $154, okay? But keep your receipt from that, because when you go to do your taxes at the end of the year, or at the beginning of the year, I should say, then you'll be able to write that fee off. Whatever you spend out to for your business, you're going to be able to write that stuff off. And trust me, I have been using Schedule C of the tax returns, the 1040 tax returns for years, and never have had to pay taxes at the end of the year. Okay, so because I've always, for at least the last 11 years or so, I've always had some type of home-based business, some type of, little side hustle, whether it was selling insurance, selling MCA, the motor club, selling purses, other online affiliate programs or whatnot. I just started doing Airbnb last year, as a matter of fact. So, which is a great side hustle. Well, up until the whole quarantine thing, it was a great, extra income. Just, renting out on a very, very part-time basis, two rooms in my house. But anyways, okay, so you want to establish yourself as an LLC, okay? For one, because you're stepping it up a level. You're not just a sole proprietorship with this little side hustle thing going on. If you take the time to do an LLC, that shows to, lenders and creditors. And if you do decide you want to apply with the government for anything, it shows them also that, you're taking this seriously. Okay. Also, it protects you. So if somebody, if you're doing it working out of your house, like the way I am, and you have somebody come over or whatever, and they trip and fall or whatever, then you're protected. Okay. So that's step number one. Step number two. Okay. You want to apply for an EIN number with the IRS. Okay. And that's really simple, really easy to do. All you have to do is go on the IRS's website, irs.gov, and use the little drop-down menu or whatever, and apply for an EIN number, or you can put in the little search bar that you're looking for it to apply for an EIN number. Really simple, really easy to do. Okay. It usually takes probably a couple of weeks before you get your number in the mail. The IRS, they only mail it to you. Okay. So I believe it's been quite a while since when I got my EIN number. Sorry. My EIN number. Okay. So you want to do that. It is no cost whatsoever, but with the Zen website, zenbusiness.com, they are going to ask you, do you have an EIN number? And if you don't, do you want them to apply for it for you? And then, of course, they're going to try to charge a fee for that. You don't need them to do that. You can do that on your own. It's really simple. Okay. Then once you have your incorporation papers back from Zen, which if you don't want to pay additional money, it's going to take about 30 days or less for you to get your incorporation papers back from them, unless you want to pay additional fees, and in that case, they'll do it even faster. Okay, but we're trying to keep our costs down. Unless you just rolling in dough and you can afford to do it, then by all means, don't listen to me. Okay, do what you want to do. But okay, so that's step number two. Step number three, okay, is you want to look at opening up a business checking account. Okay. And you can just simply Google, top business checking accounts that's offering some type of bonus. Okay. Right now, I just checked on with Chase. Chase is offering $300. And all you have to do is deposit $1,000 within 20 business days. And I think keep that balance in there for 60 days. Okay. So you have 20 business days to put the $1,000 in there, and then you have to keep it in there for 60 days. And then they will, on the 60th day or the 61st day, they will deposit the $300 directly into your business checking account. I did this with my personal account with Chase, and it like clockwork. I'm telling you, like clockwork. Okay. As soon as that 60 days hit, they put that money in my account. Okay. So, and that's the only one that I've seen that has this offering the best deal for the lowest amount that you got to open up the account with. Okay. Some of the other ones, there are other banks out there that are offering a higher bonus, but they require that you put a lot more money in. If you've got a lot more money, then by all means. But some of us, it's just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's all we got. That's all we can come up with. Okay. But if you can come up with more, then by all means, Google to see some of the other banks out there that are offering a higher bonus. Okay. All right. So with that $300, you'll be able to reimburse yourself back for the money that you spent to get incorporated. Plus, you'll still have some left over. So look at there. It paid for itself. Okay. Then you want to get yourself a business phone line. So Google used to give you a phone number for free, but I guess I just Googled Google and for a phone number, and now they're charging it's about $10 a month. It looks like, but you definitely want to get a separate phone number from your cell phone. Okay. Also, you're going to want to register your phone number and your address on Google, Yelp, Angie's List, and the Better Business Bureau. Okay. All of those are super easy. Well, I know Yelp is and Google is. Angie's List, I'm not so sure about because I believe they charge a fee. But you might want to double check on that with Angie's List. But for sure, you want to register your business on Google and Yelp. And if you get your business email through Gmail, which is Google, then it's going to prompt you and ask you, do you want to go ahead and get set up in Google? Okay. The next thing, so that was step number 4. All right. So step number 5, okay? Step number 5, you want to get you a Duns and Bradstreet number, okay? Because through the Duns and Bradstreet, this is where your trade lines will report your business credit history, okay? So they're kind of like your Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, but for businesses. Okay. You're going to need a DUNS number and typically an EIN number if you want to apply for any government grants and low interest rate loans for your business. Okay. Those 2 things I use and check almost daily whenever I am looking at or considering approving an application for funding with my full-time job. All right. So they're very important, very, very important. And you want to make sure that once you have those, that you stay on top of any debts that you have or you might owe or whatever, because if you end up with a federal debt, like a tax lien or something like that, you will not be able to get funding through the government as long as you owe a debt to the government. Okay. So and that goes for child support as well. All right. The next thing, so step number 6, you want to start to establish trade lines with suppliers. Okay. So like Office Max or Office Depot, that could be one of them that you would want to look at applying to. You can also look at Quill and HDSupplySolutions.com. So Quill.com, QUILL.com, HDSupplySolutions.com. Okay. And just let them know, when you're applying that 100%, you're 100% online business. If you are, I mean, if you have a brick and mortar, then, you know, so be it. Okay. And then you want to make sure whenever you get credit, anytime, doesn't matter, but particularly in this situation, you want to make sure you read the fine print, because when you're first starting out, they're typically going to want to hold you personally liable, but eventually you'll be able to get away from you having to personally guarantee lines of credit. Okay. As you show, profits and things like that. Okay. You also, so tip number eight. I'm sorry, I'm looking down in my notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. So tip number 8. You want to make sure that as you start to get these trade lines, that they're being reported to Dun and Bradstreet or DMB. Okay. And also, you can go on a website called NAV. Okay. And they show you options. So you can go on there. It's www.nav.com. Okay. So this is just all about building your business credit. So you can get away from putting everything or running everything under your own personal name. Okay. That's the whole end goal here, right? And then you want to, stay on top of your credit, and just like the way you check your personal credit every so often, you want to, do the same thing with when it comes to your business credit. Okay. Now, some of these, sites, they will try to get you to spend money, because they got to try to make money too, right? Everybody is in business to make money. But you don't have to do that, because NAV is free. So just utilize NAV to, check on your credit and see how your business credit, how you're building it, how things are going. Okay. You want to make sure that as you're getting these trade lines, these credit lines and whatnot, that you're not just charging them up on frivolous things. Like, make sure that it's stuff that is going to, make you a return. Obviously, if you use your printer a lot, then you need to, constantly be buying paper and ink. So it would make sense to utilize your credit line to get, more ink and more paper. Or you might even, maybe the printer that you had was more on for, just kind of here and there type of usage, but now you're using it a lot more. So maybe you want to upgrade to a better quality printer or something like that. That would make sense. But to just use your credit line just because, you don't want to do that, because you don't want to get yourself into a situation that you find it hard to get out of. Okay, for some reason, my computer just like paused on me out of nowhere. Okay. So, and then the last thing is, but not least important, is if you seriously think that you want to apply for funding through the federal government, say like through, if you're in a rural area, through the USDA or business and industries, because you've been, growing a garden or whatever, and you want to start up a food co-op or market or something like that, a fresh market, farmer's market or something like that. You definitely want to make sure you register with sam.gov And SAM stands for Systems Administration Management or something like that. I forget. I check it every day and I can't remember what it stands for. But anyways, you want to make sure you register with sam.gov and keep that number. Make sure that number stays active because you have to go in and just update your information every year to keep it active. Because if you let it expire, then it's like very, very difficult to get it reinstated. But that number is very important if you do decide you want to apply for some of the larger, federal grants and programs through the federal government. Okay, so very, very important. All right. So you can monitor your business credit as you're establishing it through NAV, okay, and Dun & Bradstreet or DNB.com, okay. And let's see what else. If you do decide that you want to apply for a grant through like the USDA or something like that, you're going to have 5 years of financials if it's a community facilities type of project. And you're going to have widespread community support. You're going to have a board. So you can't just be the one-man show running everything. Your articles of incorporation are going to have to show that everybody is duly elected and they have a set term and things like that. So it gets a little bit more involved if you want to end up taking that path. But you can always reach out to me, and if that's a path you do want to take, just reach out to me and let me know, and I will do what I can to help you kind of like walk you through that process. Okay. So those are your 10 tips with a little bonus one there for you. So go ahead, get started on these 10 tips, and before you know it, within 30 days, you'll have your incorporation papers. And once you have those, then you can apply for a business checking account. And you can start applying for business credit lines. You can also look at, once you have a decent amount of revenue coming in, you can apply for it's not like, it's kind of like a line of credit, but it is not really with PayPal, because you just pay a flat fee, but they look at how much revenue you've been generating or that's been coming through your PayPal account. So like if you've got an online store or something like that, then you want to make sure that your online store is connected to your PayPal account so that you'll get your royalties and stuff like that paid through your PayPal account. So then PayPal can see that history. So I guess this is pro tip number 2 for you. So you want to make sure that your royalties and your commissions are running through your PayPal account so that they can see, okay, this business is making money. Okay. So once they see that, and I just looked on their site, and I don't remember how much it said that you needed to make within the last 9 months. But I will put that in the description. And I'll look that up again and I'll put that in the description for you guys. But that's also another great option because they don't care about your credit or anything like that. They don't do a credit check, but they do care about seeing that you've had consistent revenue coming through your PayPal account. Okay. So that's also another great thing that you guys want to make sure all of your online websites and platforms that you're taking payments through, that those payments or those royalties or commissions is running through your PayPal account so that they can see that your business is making money. That was one of the great things about doing Airbnb was we got paid our commissions through our PayPal account. Okay. So that is it, everyone. I hope you guys find all of this information very, very helpful. I know I did when I encountered it. It was, it's very easy to understand and to follow. And so, get out there and let's all just, make some money and just have great, great success. Let me know in the comments if you found this information useful. And or if you didn't, either way, I want, constructive criticism. So, and don't forget to click subscribe, comment, and share, 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 share. I am really trying to get my subscribership up. So I would appreciate if you guys would share this video with anybody that you know that has been wanting to take their business to the next level or wanting to go into business for themselves, and they've run into all kinds of obstacles because there's so much information out there. It can be just become very overwhelming. So, and I totally understand. I totally get it. But please, 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 subscribe, like this video, and share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. All right. Peace out. Now, I'm rooting for you guys every step of the way.
Be strong.